if you haven't figured out already, selling info online is completely broken. And I'm going to be breaking down exactly how to crack it in this video. It's going to be a full course, right? So look at people like TGR, Brez, Tate, Luke Belmar, Iman Gadzhi, all these different people online. What do they all do? Right? What do they all have in common? They all sell info, right? We all know this. They don't make money through doing the business model that they teach. They all sell info and make money through that. And this is what you should also be doing, right? It's literally the easiest business model to start. And we're breaking down how to crack info in this video, right? So right now, trust is an all-time low in the online info products game, right? People don't care about flashy edits or Miami gurus driving Lamborghinis anymore. They don't even care about how many followers a person that they buy from has. It's become a full-on trust game, right? There's a massive gap of just trust in the market. And if you know how to capitalize on that, you will make money. It doesn't even matter if you have a big audience or don't, whatever it may be. If you understand what I'm about to lay down on you in this video, you'll be able to make money through selling your information online, right? So just to get clear on who this video is for, it's for anyone who has something that they can package up into a one-to-one coaching program and sell. So for example, if you may be doing a business model and you've been making a good amount of money with it, you could teach that. If you are in good shape, you've been hitting the gym, you can teach other people how to do that. It can literally be anything, right? If you know how to swim very, very well, very, very well, you can, sell a coach on that. Whatever it may be, you can sell coaching online for it, right? If you know how to, I don't know, if you got very, very good grades at school and you're gonna now teach other people how to do the same, you can sell a coaching on that, right? Just any type of knowledge you have, which you can sell a coaching on. That's the first point of view this video is for. And the second is anyone who already sells any type of information online. So that's probably gonna be a majority of you guys. So any type of mentorship, ebook, mid-ticket offer, whatever it may be, and you want some ideas on how to create more trust with your audience, right? Because maybe you've been trying to scale up your info product for a while now, but it feels like there's a gap, right? It feels like there's something which is just something that's missing that you're not doing at the minute. And I'm telling you, it is trust, right? You don't have enough trust built up with your audience. And until you don't build up that trust, you're gonna be capped at making the same amount of money as you're making right now, right? So I'm gonna just teach you guys how to build more trust with your audience. But obviously, if you haven't, if you never sold coaching in your life, still watch this because it's gonna be so much value in this video, right? So I'm gonna firstly get into understanding the market, right? So most online coaches mess up right here and they straight stay broke literally forever, right? They target their content at absolutely everybody and aims to go viral, yet their content relates to absolutely no one. Okay. As a result, they start charging like £100 for their one-on-one coaching, which is complete BS, right? You don't want to be doing this. You want to be targeting, you want to be charging high to get prices for your one-on-one coaching just because it makes the most sense, right? So if you want to sell high ticket properly, if you don't want to sell high ticket coaching, you can carry on watching. This is going to be specifically for people who want to sell high ticket coaching because that's where the most of the money is at, right? Like the smaller your audience is, the higher ticket your coaching should be. That is literally the rule of thumb. Um, so yeah, if you want to sell high ticket coaching properly, you need to identify your ideal customer profile, right? So in my Discord server, you can join it down below. I have a full ICP sheet which you can go ahead and fill out. It's going to be very, very helpful. So yeah, go ahead and join my Discord server down below. It's completely free. But yeah, your ICP is a detailed description of who your ideal customer is, right? The reason you need to know who they are is so you can speak to them in your content and basically build your whole business around your ideal customer, right? How do you expect absolutely anyone to buy, invest high ticket coaching? So 2K, 3K, 4K, 5K, if you're not relating to their problems and speaking to them in your content, right? Like you have to be doing that. So you need to solve specific problems that your specific ICP may face in order to get paid as an online coach, right? Ignore the fitness coaches, which is for previous Marigold, but just say get paid as an online coach in general, right? So this is a fitness coaching example, right? So let's say Joe, right? This is a random guy. He's in the market for an online coach, right? Maybe he's tried some personal trainers in real life or whatnot, and he just wants to go online. Okay, so this is who he is, right? His is just a very, very brief customer profile. So he's 6'2", he's skinny, he's 19 years old, he's in university, and he lives with his parents, right? Let's say these 5 different online coaches. So the first one, his offer is helping men get shredded by the summer. So this is all his content is built around, right? All the content he's posting is how men get shredded by the summer, all these different things. Next one is helping men lose fat. Next one is helping men get lean in 90 days or refund, helping men get shredded in 120 days. These are the 4 fitness coaches. But the one that's going to land the client is the guy who has a specific offer, right? It's just common sense. So helping 16, 20-year-old men, 6 to 20 up, go from bony to build with only 3 hours in the gym a week while still eating your mom's cooking, right? So this guy's going to land the client. And these guys can have thousands of followers, right? Which took them years to get. And they think that that's what's going to land them clients. When the truth is, this guy's probably started online coaching last week, which is being way more relatable. And you're probably thinking, okay, well, it's so hard for this is such a specific offer, right? But that's the beauty of charging high ticket prices because you don't have to appeal to a whole lot of people, right? You can appeal to a very small amount of people, yet still make a ton of money with online coaching. So Hope that sort of made sense right there. And yeah, again, like what I said, right? If your ICP is too specific, you can charge. If you're charging high ticket prices, you don't have to worry about that because you're not trying to appeal to absolutely everybody. You're trying to appeal to a very, very small group of people. And even if you have a massive audience and you're doing an info products launch, you should still be trying to appeal to a very, very small amount of people, right? You don't want to have your calendar filled up with a bunch of bots, a bunch of people just going to use up spaces who aren't even going to invest into the program that you're selling. You want to be appealing to a very specific audience because you're selling a high ticket coaching, right? Like, let's say you have a million followers, but you're selling a coaching program for 10K. Like, realistically, maybe like a very small portion of people in your audience are actually going to buy into that. And because of that, you need to target your content very much to them, right? So, when you do content properly, your ICP will also make up 90% of your viewers, right? Like, so it's just common sense. Being too niche down is not a worry. Like, you're not worried, you don't think about being too niche down. You have to be too niche down if you want to charge high ticket prices without having a massive following or whatnot, right? So your ideal customer profile is pretty much you before you had your whole transformation, right? Through like before you basically before stuff started changing. So let's say you do drop shipping, right? And you're hitting that consistent 20K months. Think of who you were before you were hitting those 20K months, the problems that you maybe have been facing, the type of person you are, the way you thought, the way you ate, all these different things. And just do that as your ICP, right? Like make that your ICP. Hold on. And that's the quickest and easiest way to go about it, right? And yeah, literally the more specific your ICP is, the more money that you'll make. So here are just some random ICP questions. So, for example, what goals they have, how much money they make, what's their ethnicity, what pain points they have, etc. Right? These are just some random ones. Again, join the Discord server down below. You get a way better ICP sheet. But here are just some random ones that I just thought at the top of my head. Right? So let's get on to building your offer. Right? So now that you know who your ICP is, you need to build out an offer that actually appeals towards your ICP. Or you need to build out a product and an offer that your ICP actually wants to buy. Right? So if you have done your ICP research correctly, it's not going to be hard to build out a good offer, right? So let's just say, back like the example I was saying earlier, if you're 16 years old, you're 6'2", you went from skinny to shredded, you ate a diet that 16-year-old will be able to follow relatively easily, and you hit the gym on limited time, this is what an offer could look like for you, right? And obviously, you have to apply this to whatever you do. So if you do online business, if you want to teach online business, if you want to teach like, I don't know, mindset coaching, whatever other random skill it may be, you have to apply it to that. This is just a random one, right? So 16, 20-year-old men is obviously people who may resonate with you and share similar problems to you. Taller, maybe in that they're typically skinnier. So you may more resonate with like your previous struggles and it's more unique and it's more specific. But you need to build just a bit of unique saying. 3 hours in the gym, obviously it's more relatable. It's probably students on limited time. And then it's obviously like a common pain point of people this age, right? So this is one for fitness coaching specifically. But again, just like apply this to whatever you do. Let's just like figure out who you were before you had your changes, before you made more money or you got in better shape or you built a better mindset, whatever it may be, and then build an offer around that person, right? So you can sort of follow this for your offer. So your result, what do you actually help people achieve? Time frame, how long does it take for them to achieve that goal? A guarantee, you want to have some type of guarantee in place, like a refund if they don't achieve the desired result, to basically make it like a no-brainer type of offer. USP, something that differentiates you. Secrets, like a unique way in which you help your client achieve their desired result. You want to polarize it, so you want to make sure that you are excluding a certain type of people from your offer just to make it really more specific and really just make it appeal to your ICP that much more. And then you want to also include your methods, so how you actually do what it is you do and like how you actually help your clients get a certain result, right? So a lot of people think that your offer, like, why am I going over this much just for your offer? That should be something that's in your bio on Instagram or YouTube. But that's not what it is, right? Your offer should be spoken through your content. Okay, you need to figure out how to actually communicate your offer through your content, through your YouTube videos, through your Instagram videos, through your TikToks, whatever it may be. And it's just that's very, very important to do that, right? Your offer should also have a fallback. So if you have a good guarantee on your offer, um, clients can always just like rely on that, right? And they'd be like, okay, like it's not as risky as I thought it may be, right? Because if you do everything properly in this funnel, the one objection that people are probably going to have is just fear, right? Obviously, because you're charging high ticket prices like 2K, 3K, 4K, 5K, all the way up to like 10K for your program, people are always going to be skeptical, right? People aren't used to investing this much type of money into themselves, even though it does happen, like it's just rarer. So as a result of that, you need to have a offer that has a good guarantee, right? Because people's number one objection is always going to be fear, right? People are always going to be, oh yeah, I'm kind of scared, like I don't know if I should do this. As a result of that, you should always have a good guarantee just to really make sure that people can fall back on it and always rely on it. So now that you understand your market, you understand who you're actually going to be targeting, and you have an offer slash product that you've built around who you're going to be targeting, you need to actually go out and get these high ticket clients, right? You're not going to be doing cold outreach. You're not going to be posting bullshit TikTok, YouTube, Instagram videos. You need to know how to actually do content properly, because if you fumble this stage, you're going to be stuck in that constant flywheel of just trying to land new clients instead of having clients literally come to you, right? So to land clients, all you really need is Instagram and YouTube, right? Most top info sellers, like let's say just TJ or Brez, for example, these like big guys in the space, they only really like most of their clients come from their YouTube and Instagram. That's all you really need. TikTok is good for getting more reach, but TikTok isn't really going to bring you high ticket clients, right? So obviously, if you're really scaling it up, if you're really doing a lot, then you can do TikTok. But Instagram and YouTube are the main platforms, right? Twitter, you don't really need it, to be honest. It's just again more reach, just another touch point. But Instagram and YouTube are going to be your main focus, and that's the ones I'm going to focus on in this video, right? So YouTube is extremely, extremely important. It should be your priority because it's longer form content. I'm going to explain why that matters in a second. So in this, you can get way more people to fall under the 7 hour rule. Where if somebody consumes 7 hours more of your content, they're going to be way more likely to buy from you. So obviously, 7 hours is not like the like if people are consuming 7 hours of your content, they're straight away going to buy from you. Basically, a rough number. If somebody consumes that much of your content, they're going to be just that much more likely to buy from you, right? On YouTube, you should be paying zero attention to views. Now, obviously, if you already sell info and you post YouTube videos, you're probably already getting some type of views. But if you aren't selling info and you want to start posting videos after watching this video, and you're worried about like all your videos not getting a lot of views, don't worry about that. Okay, like it should always be providing value over views, right? Watch your video. If you're providing value, that's great. If you're not getting a lot of views, do not worry about that. Obviously, if you're getting like flat zero views or like one view per video, that used to be me as well. Then there's your channel may be like shadow banned, or your video may be just really really bad. But you should be getting some type of views, but like don't worry if you're not getting a lot because it's completely normal. If you have niche down properly, you'll have less views, but the people that are going to be viewing your content are going to be way more likely to purchase into your coaching. It's that simple, all right? So I'm going to be breaking this down to middle of funnel, bottom of funnel, and top of funnel. So I'm really getting sort of deep with this. So if you're middle of funnel, you want to post a sort of a raw talk type of video, right? So just something that's very, very raw, very, very authentic, right? People have seen all the edits, the flashy stuff. They don't really care about that anymore. They want just genuine people, right, who actually care about their clients and actually helping people get results. So these basically just like sitting in front of the camera, just talking on a topic that may do with your business or with whatever it is that you may do, like fitness, business, making money, trading, whatever it is you may do, just talk on that topic, something that may be relatable. So for example, let's say I do day trading. I could do a video like, um, I don't know, like none of my trades have been hitting lately. What am I gonna do? Like, what am I gonna do moving forward? Just something like that. So, like an example is how I scaled my X business. So, for example, how I scaled my dropshipping business to 10K a month while still in school. Or if you're struggling to stay productive, watch this, something like this. Really, what you want to do and we want to focus on for these videos is competitive research. Okay, I cannot stress how important this is. Look at other very, very niche down YouTube channels, look at their titles, look at what they are doing, and make sure to adopt that, use that in your content, use the same titles, use the same video styles. It's that simple, all right? On your rule talks, you also want to give them like you can give them some type of you get rid of this. You give them some type of custom name. It's not hugely important, but you just can. Like a ton of people do that. So raw talks are going to act as your middle of funnel, right? So people do come across your day in the life videos, which I'm going to break down in a second, then decide to click on these to learn more about you personally. But like even with the fact that they are middle of funnel, they can still get a hold of you and access the top of funnel. So in your raw talks, just be genuine as authentic, genuine and authentic and as vulnerable as possible, right? Remember, okay, people don't buy coaching. Okay, people don't buy coaching programs, right? The only people that buy coaching programs, the people that spend like £500 on people's coaching programs, right? They buy coaches. That is literally like that is how you charge high ticket prices. It's really having that different like that mental sort of reframe, right? Remembering that people don't buy coaching, they buy coaches, right? So the whole purpose of these raw talks is to be vulnerable about issues such roadblocks that you overcame in your journey and show the viewer, ideally your ICP, that you aren't really that different from them. You just took a few different steps, right? So you can post like anywhere from like 1 to 2 of these per week. It really doesn't matter too much. That's just sort of rough. Then your bottom of funnel, right? Actually, I'm gonna go over the top of funnel first. So the top of funnel content, so the videos that people are going to be basically grabbing the most attention, are going to be mainly day in the life slash vlogs, right? So you don't have to post a crazy amount of these just because they're going to accumulate more views over time anyway. But just document what your day looks like as somebody who does whatever it is you do, right? So let's say you do SMMA, document, okay, like day in the life of a 17, 18-year-old SMMA owner, or let's say you do I don't know, let's say like you're a bodybuilder, right? And you're gonna teach other people how to get in shape. Then life of like a 20-year-old bodybuilder who goes to university, like something like that, just random titles. Talk about your struggles and again just be vulnerable in these. They don't have to be crazy over edited, right? They don't have to be anything crazy. Just simple vlogs, right? And you can do one of these every week slash fortnight. You can even do one of these a month, just because they're always going to be getting views. Now, your main focus of your post should be just pure value based videos. Okay, this should be the main thing that you're posting. They're going to be like 10, 20 minute long YouTube videos, basically showcasing the viewer that you know what you're talking about. So let's say you coach other people how to dropship, make a video like, for example, here's the best way to always go viral with dropshipping, or like something that's even more specific, right? So like, I don't really know so much about dropshipping, so I can't really speak on dropshipping. But let's say copywriting, right? Make a video on um like here's how I average a 50% open rate on my emails for my copywriting clients. Something like this that actually can be very, very valuable. Do not, and I repeat, do not gatekeep information. All right, share pretty much everything and overload the viewer with value so much. Right, this is going to build up so much trust. It's going to get them to like you more as well. Right, these videos should be your priority. You honestly don't even necessarily need to record these other ones. Like you definitely don't necessarily need to do this one. You definitely should be posting like at least some of these just to get people to like you more and whatever. But these should honestly be your main priority. So yeah, if you don't know what to record, just record these. In these videos, you need to speak directly to your ICP and solve specific problems that they may be facing, right? So for example, let's say you're a fitness coach and you only help taller guys. You can make a video such as like men above 6'3". This is how you pack on muscle and destroy the slender man look. So it's specific and it also solves a problem straight away. It's a very, very specific video. And even though it's not going to get hundreds of thousands of views, the people who are viewing this video are probably going to be people who are in your ICP and therefore going to be way more likely to actually buy into your coaching eventually, right? So that's literally it for YouTube. It's honestly very, very simple. So next we're going to be going over Instagram, right? So your main goal with Instagram is going to be to obviously again build up more trust. That's the whole point of this video, to show you guys how to build up trust with your audience, even in a short time frame, even not having a massive following or whatnot. It's just going to be a trust game because that's the biggest gap in the info market right now is people actually trusting you. Okay, so Instagram is going to act as your main nurturing tool. Okay, so YouTube's going to be where a whole lot of your traffic is going to come from. A lot of people are going to find you through your Instagram and then go to your YouTube, sorry, and then go to your Instagram um, and get nurtured through there as well, right? And the reason why Instagram's so good is because it has so many different features, right? The main one is stories, which I'm going to go over in a second, right? So high quality leads who pay you premium prices are not going to really come through your Instagram content, but mainly through your YouTube videos, right? Just because the people who are watching YouTube videos, watching longer form videos, are going to be way more likely. There's going to be more serious people in general, right? So with that being said, you can easily sign high ticket clients with YouTube alone. However, to speed run the process and just speed run the nurturing process and make prospects like 7 hours plus of watch time in the shortest time frame, you should also just be leveraging Instagram as well, right? So you can only use YouTube, it like sort of up to you, but Instagram should just be something else that you're including just to really speed up the nurturing process. Whilst most online coaches are just copy and paste people who just have a website which will take you straight to a VSL, where they're obviously going to be selling you on your like their 997 course. You should funnel viewers to Instagram where you can provide even more value to them. Okay, so I'm going to go over Instagram stories first just because this is even more important compared to Reels. So yeah, Instagram stories are the best nurturing tool because people use them most, right? Even if you ask ChatGPT, so like statistically, people check Instagram stories the most, right? And here's just some random data. Um, so yeah, stories based just prime real estate, especially the first three slides. So you're going to be posting 10 to 20 stories a day, right, to build up the most trust, which may seem sort of excessive. However, this is going to nurture people extremely quickly and bring you a constant flywheel inflow, of high quality leads as your follower count increases. So just some random ideas for what you can actually be posting on your stories. I might make a more in-depth video on story sequences. And again, if you're getting a ton of results for your coaching already, if you're already selling info, it may look a bit different from this. But let's just go over this quick. So your USP story. So you want to do a unique story post that's going to build more trust. So for example, let's say you do SMMA or trading. Take a picture of you looking at the charts every single morning at like 6 a.m. or something like that, just like studying. Or let's say you fitness coaching. Take a video of you doing, I don't know, like morning press ups. These different things that's going to like every single day someone's going to see it, that your story review is going to see it, and that's going to help you build up more trust with them and really show them that you actually practice what you teach, right? So next is value. So again, some mindset, business value. What, why, how stories. So what you're doing. So let's say you're taking creatine for the gym. So then want to do a video explaining what you're doing. So why I'm taking creatine, why you're doing it. So, no, I mean, what, okay, I got confused right there. So what you're doing, so like, what is creatine, why you're doing it? I'm doing it to help, improve like muscle growth, whatever, how it's beneficial. It helps me focus more and helps me put on muscle faster, right? You want to use 2 times 6 stories, something like this. Or, let's say do copywriting coaching, for example, what you're doing, you could do something like I'm testing a subject line for my clients. What I'm doing is going to help me get better results from my clients over time. How it's beneficial, I'll then be able to get better client results and in turn charge more money. So these are just rough ideas. These are going to be video stories. So this is just you talking to the camera for like, I don't know, like 30 seconds per one, obviously expanding on the point more. You guys get the gist, right? Then wins, client wins, whatever it may be. Can you be also your personal win? So let's say your fitness coach went out for a jog, just do like a personal best, something like this, right? And then just random stories, light CTAs, more value. So again, I might do a more in-depth video on this just because stories are very, very important. But really, it's about the frequency. Like if you're posting 10 to 20 stories every single day, that is just solid in like in itself. Obviously, your stories have to be good quality. You don't just post like just random BS. But yeah, just make sure you're posting a whole lot of stories, and it builds up so much trust, right? And like a great way to sort of, I guess, understand the amount of trust that posting stories build is thinking about it in this way, right? So stories will basically build you like a cult-like audience. Okay, so look at people such as like Kai Snap, right, or like I Should Speed, right? These people are basically the modern day like celebrities. Like they're the biggest people on social media at the minute. And the reason for this is because they're literally live streaming their lives. Like Kai Snap just done a whole like subathon. So people just sit there and watch it like all the time, and it really builds up a parasocial relationship. And doing Instagram stories at this sort of frequency is going to almost replicate this effect at a much smaller scale, of course, right? Through this, you can also pre-sell your audience, making sales calls super, super easy, or like so like for your sales reps or whatever, if you take this course yourself. This is because you can answer people's questions and Q&As on your story, and they can end up knowing, joining the call, know exactly what you do, who you help, and ask all the typical questions that they may ask on a sales call through your Instagram stories. So for your Instagram reels, you want to be posting at least around one a day. These can act as another nurturing tool. However, high quality prospects are unlikely to find you through your reels. So sorry. So you want to create reels with your ICP in mind. Know who you're talking to in your reels as well. Create videos that are literally impossible for your ICP not to interact with. So let's say you're a fitness coach, right? You can say something like, instead of like, here's how to get abs in 90 days, which is something that's sort of generic, you could do something like, here's how to shred your beer belly and have all eyes on you at the beach this summer. Okay, this is talking to way more pain points. And even though it's way more specific, the people that are going to be watching this video are going to feel way more called out, right? So here's a real structure you can follow. Honestly, you don't have to follow this religiously just because you're not really going to be getting too many clients coming through your reels. Most people are going to find you through YouTube videos, to be honest, and then watch your stories as like nurturing, not really watch your reels too much. You can still just look at this. Yeah, again, really, really specific with the content. So at the bottom of funnel reels, you want to call out a problem that your ISP may be facing, what's ego surfacing. So what ego surfacing is basically it's basically feeding the ego of your viewer. So you've been eating right consistently, but you still haven't got rid of that beer belly. So it's sort of congratulating them, then still talking about the pain point and authority. So you're building authority through the wins slash results you how other people get in your past. So like this is my client journey. He had the same issues until we fix this. You want to give them some value at the end, right? Then you can also do middle of funnel reels, which can be sort of like day in the life type of reels, and top of funnel reels, which is still gonna be like more like rage bait videos. So like for example, you compare your fat, yeah, you eat seed oils every single day, or like I don't know, like you complain that you're broke, but you still haven't taken action on that business yet, or something like that, right? So quick analogy I'm gonna just get you guys with when it comes to Instagram stories is almost like this, right? So when you get people coming through your YouTube, right, they are basically like imagine like a rocket, right? And they're like at the ground, right, on the earth. As they watch more and more stories, it's like the rocket just going up and up and up. And consistency is so important when it comes to this. Because if they see that you're not consistent, if they see that you're skipping days, or you're not posting as high quality stories or whatnot, their trust is just going to drop off, right? And in turn, the rocket is just going to drop off as well. So think of it in that way. Basically, think of like your story viewers as like rocket ships going up and up. Obviously, sort of a weird analogy, but that is why consistency is so important when it comes to posting Instagram stories. So yeah. Also, your Instagram DM slash your YouTube comments. You need to also leverage these. Okay, once you're building up trust, people are going to be coming into your DMs or YouTube comments asking for help you need to provide, right? You want to basically aim to create the effect of someone being one-to-one coach before they even enter your program, right? Because if they think, oh yeah, this guy's providing me with so much free value, imagine how good his paid stuff may be. And that's really good what's going to justify them investing high ticket prices into your one-on-one coaching, right? So the final thing I'm going to go over is sort of the whole funnel. This is not really sales funnel. I don't know why I said that. So this is simply the process of that people are going to go through from being a complete cold view of your content to paying your higher ticket prices, right? So now that I've gone over Instagram and YouTube, I'm going to actually break down the whole process that people are probably going to be going through if you actually use this or use certain aspects that you've sort of learned from this video. So knowing your process, I mean, like funnel, and how many leads you have coming in at different stages is very, very important for just identifying bottlenecks and maintaining clarity. So most people are going to be coming in through YouTube, right? This is where the high quality eyeballs are going to come from, high quality traffic, whatever you want to call it. So people on Instagram and TikTok aren't like they're not going to really be usually willing to spend 1K on coaching, right? You see it all the time on like Instagram reels in the comments, people just saying like nice try Diddy or like just random, like they're just clowning all the course sellers, right? Because these people don't revalue, they don't value coaching, they don't value mentorships compared to people on YouTube, which obviously, more people on YouTube actually understand the value that comes from mentorships, right? And the saying real recognize real, even though that sounds sort of like cringe, is still true, right? Because your YouTube channel is going to be raw and authentic, or providing value. You're only going to have people who are high quality and actually willing to invest into high ticket coaching prices coming through that, right? So once people consume some YouTube content, they're probably gonna YouTube is the top of funnel, by the way. So once you consume some of that content, they're going to go to your Instagram purely out of curiosity. Instagram is the ultimate nurturing tool and speed on the sales process since people are viewing your stories on the daily. Okay, so from here, people will either go book a call from your Instagram or go back to your YouTube and book a call. So basically, it's like a back and forth type of thing. Since we're also going to be doing top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel IG reels, you also have new Instagram, like new eyeballs coming through this very, very rarely. It will mainly be through your YouTube. Okay, so yeah, 7 hour rule. That's the whole point of this. And you should be focusing on this in this trust recession. So that is it for this video. I really hope it was valuable. If you sell any type of info products, so like a high ticket mentorship, a low ticket course, whatever it may be, and you want to scale it up, you want a full plan on how you can scale it up, go ahead and book a call me down below in the description. How the call will go, basically me, auditing your whole business, finding out the bottlenecks and stuff you may have, and then providing with a full free scaling plan. At the end of it, hitting you with an offer. Obviously, I'm not going to be doing any type of hard close. If you don't want to work with me or anything like that, it's completely fine. But it's going to be a complete free call. You're going to get a ton of free value from it anyway. So if you're selling any type of info product, go ahead and book that call. Also, like I said earlier in the video, you can go ahead and join my free Discord server if you want to connect with me or just find out more about what I personally do or whatnot. Yeah, go ahead and join. It's completely free. And yeah, that's it for this one. Peace out.